Hello and welcome back. I'd like to do a little bit more on working with formulas. Okay, so let's suppose that for whatever reason I was interested in adding up a bunch of numbers. So let's just say I'm going to enter some data in here and I want to perform some operations on them. 230. So let's just say I want to add all these guys up. Well, we said in the previous video that in order to use formulas, you've got to first type in an equal sign into the cell where you want the formula to appear. So if I want to add up the values directly above the current cell, I'm going to type in sum. Always open a parenthesis to indicate that you're working with a function. And then you can come over here and highlight all the cells that you want to take a sum of. You'll notice that, again, the cells are written here. We want to take the sum of all values between D20 and cell D30, close our parenthesis, hit enter, and this value right here is the sum. Now this could also be taking place the other way around. What if all my values were along the row? So let's just say now I want to take the sum of these guys right here. Well, all I have to do is come over to a cell. It doesn't even have to be nearby. I just click equals, sum, and then I can come over and highlight all the values that I want to take the sum of. Let's just say, for example, I want to take the sum of all of these guys, and I also want to take the sum of all of these guys. So what I would do is, when I click and I highlight and I release my mouse, it says, okay, you've selected to take the sum of F33, so F33 all the way through L33, but now I want to take the sum of these also. So what I can do is by hitting the control button and holding that down while I click and drag again, notice what that does. That creates a comma, separates this block from this block, and now when I close my parenthesis and hit enter, it is giving me or returning the sum of all of the values in this green box, all of the values in this blue box, and returning that value to this cell right here. Now, even though it shows up as an 841, when you put your mouse over it, you'll be able to see that formula again. You come over here and click in this, what we call the formula box, you'll be able to see exactly what's typed in. Now the other option is, let's just say I wanted to come over here and for whatever reason I want to also add cells H9 all the way through H11. Okay, so what I can do is instead of doing the control and then highlighting again, I can actually type it in. I can say comma, also take the sum of cell H9 colon through H11. So you'll notice that as I type that H9 through H11, it shows up as a different color in here, and it also highlights or creates a box around those cells. So now if I hit enter, there's that new corresponding sum. We can do a lot of different things with this, and we sure will over the course of the semester. There are a lot of different functions, and if you want to test some of them, you come over to the Functions tab. Under Auto Sum, you'll see some different ways of adding and summarizing numbers. I can count numbers. Like let's say I want to count. If I click count, it'll type in the formula for me, open and close parentheses, and now I just need to tell it what I want it to count. So let's say I want to count how many numbers are between cell D20 and D31. Well, hopefully it's going to be 11 cells, or 11 numbers in there. Excuse me, 12 numbers in there. 20 all the way through and including 31. Well, how does this, what benefit does this have? Why can't I just come over here and count them? Well, if I delete one of those numbers, notice that it's counting exactly the number of numbers that it sees. You can also do different things like financial. Now, some of these, if you don't understand what they mean, you can click on it, and normally you can see a little thing that says help on this function. What you can also do is whenever you type in the function, let's try something else here, like maybe a maximum function. Let me delete this first. I think it's causing some problems. If I want to do a sum, and I want to find out more about the sum feature, I kind of mentioned in the previous video, you can click on sum. It will open up all this Microsoft help. It will give you examples. It'll show you exactly what the outputs would be under those examples, and so you can kind of go back and research those if you want to sort of experiment.